This is not medical advice. Consult your doctor.
Hi, I'm Bert Turner and I'm Turner at Large, and I'm very excited by what I've got to talk with you about today. Today we're going to do an update on what it's like to be 24 days fasted, and also an update on 22 days in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, having that treatment. We'll also talk about food cravings and supplements. So yeah, fasting, the food cravings, wow, they've been quite intense. Quite interesting ones, and not necessarily what you'd think. I'm absolutely repulsed by anything that looks like a sweet, like a biscuit or a cake or anything like that. And I think I just know that if I ate something that had all that sugar in it, it'd probably just spin me right out. So that's not what's getting me at all. I've got a really strange craving for hard aged cheddar, just wrapped in a lump of gluten-laden French bread. So that's one bad one. But the most interesting one is in regards to supplements. Now, I was talking to Bex at the Back to Wellness and talking about supplements. What came up with I'm jumping ahead a bit here, but we may as well go there. What came up with the hyperbaric oxygen is that the treatment for cancer specifically, and she'd been doing some research for my benefit, is that the hyperbaric oxygen is a process of oxidization, which normally is not what we want in our bodies. We're always taking antioxidants, but the excess of oxygen does produce oxidative stress. And I'm going to get into territory here, which I really know nothing about. So we'll just jump around a little bit, but we're causing oxidative stress, so we need to take antioxidants. That's cut a long story short. And we need to take some different bits and pieces of vitamins. So I did get hold of some antioxidants. I got hold of some berberine. I was really lucky, really hard to find here locally to get berberine. I managed to get some clinician's grade that somebody had ordered and hadn't picked up. So I got some berberine. I got another supplement, which I can't, hang on, I'll just go and get it. Can't remember the name of it. This one here, Dr Berg recommended Garcinia, taking quite a mega dose of that. He also actually recommended I get some alpha linoleic acid, ALA. Unfortunately, could not get it here in the local store, and could not get it in reasonable quantity. So I'm going to have to order that off the internet, get it in a bag so I can take a decent dose of it. But Bex recommended, to get into some B12. Dr. Berg said just get the B vitamins. But by the way, I found some really interesting stuff about taking B3 nicotinamide. It's an anti-aging thing which affects the, I think it's the NAD or NDA pathway, whatever. But that's great if you want to be anti-aging and you're cancer-free. But if you've got cancer, you don't want to be taking nicotinamide because it can actually set that path up and lock it in. So it's a bit of a shame, because I had been taking B3 because I know that it's good for the skin. So there you go, you're learning all the time. It's really interesting. But B12, definite, okay? We all need B12. And when you're fasting, I mean, I do eat meat ordinarily. I have done. I've been vegan at times and I've done juice fasts and things, but ordinarily I will eat meat. Well, the funny thing is, I took this B12 and it's in a liquid form, and it seems to be a reasonable quality, and it tastes damn fine actually. But what it did was produce this outrageous craving. I live on a lifestyle block here. I'm staying in the wellness centre here in this little room, and I'll be going home tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to getting home back into the country and the wide open spaces. But we've got a block of land and we're breeding sheep to milk, but unfortunately last season all the lambs were rams, and so rather than having some nice young ewes getting ready to come along and become little milking sheep, I had to put these ones in the freezer. So I slaughtered and butchered 3 young rams, and as I always do, if I have to do that task, I boiled the offal in a big drum and I feed it to the dogs, and they love it. They get healthy glows on their skins and they're really, really good. Now, I was thinking back and thinking to myself, man, I wish I'd saved those livers. I wish I'd got those livers. I wish I'd, and I haven't eaten liver since my mother used to make me eat it as a child when she would cook up a lamb's fry and bacon. And to be honest, I didn't really mind it as a child. I quite liked it, but kind of gone along with the crowd, and I haven't bothered eating liver since. But man, I must really need some B12 to be having a food craving fantasy like that. So it's not pies, it's not cakes, it's not burgers, folks. It's liver. So there you go. That's food cravings for you. But they have been what's really been funny is the amount of, I'm reading books, so I love to read a novel, knock me off at night, unwind my brain. The amount of food that is in a novel, the descriptions of what they eat and how they prepare it and all of that, man, you just do not notice it unless you are seriously fasting. And I tell you what, I'm really noticing, and I'm reading a novel and I see these passages come up and I just skip them. Fasting wise, I'm feeling great. The energy's great. My mind is really clear. I've had a few days when I'm a little bit woozy. If that ever happens, I simply take some of Cole Robinson's snake juice and boom, I'm good. I'm good to go. To be fair, I haven't done a lot of physical activity, and when I do get back home to the farm, I've got a few jobs to do, a few physical jobs that I have to do. Get firewood and stuff like that. So real work, and it's going to be interesting to see how I cope with that. I'll probably imagine I'm going to be pretty weak and need to take a lot of breaks. So we'll see how that goes as well. Hey, I might film a little bit for you if you're looking for a bit of excitement. That could be coming up. Just quickly, one more thing on fasting, a couple more things. If you want to get fasting and start fasting, people think, wow, what are you doing? This is crazy. You're 24 days. I'm thinking about going for 40. The woman who owned this chamber before and cured herself of stage 4 breast cancer did it by fasting for 40 days and spending 40 days in the chamber. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do my 40 days in the chamber, but she did the fasting for 40 days, and I'm thinking, well, I've gone this far, I'm feeling good, I may as well go and be biblical. But how far can I go? Have a look. I'm not going to gross you out, but look, I've got all that to live on there, and I've got it round there too. So, I don't think I'm going to waste away. I'm burning fat, and I want to get this autophagy going so that I'm ultimately burning up, eating these defective cells. And I don't know if I have to burn all my fat before that works or what. I don't know, but I think after 40 days, I'm still going to have this fat here. So we'll just have to wait and see. I will actually start adding nutrition at that point, because I think I am going to be needing more than supplements by then. So I'll update you when we get to that. But if you're going to fast, take it easy. You want to start, do intermittent fasting, just start with that, right? And Dave Asprey is great to check out on YouTube. I'll leave a link if I can find one for him. He's all over the place. Very, very knowledgeable. He started the whole bulletproof craze. He's always out to peddle you something new. He sells his nootropics and he sells his special gut flora, and he's got a great story for all of that. So he's a very, very canny businessman, but he does give you a lot of information and a lot of science. Hey, you want to get real and you want to do it for free, and you need to be motivated, and you feel like you need to lose weight or deal with some condition, you just get on to the snake diet and you watch Cole Robinson. You just watch Cole. He is the one, for me, who took all the fear out of fasting. People are so worried about it. There is nothing at all to be afraid of. At all. Nothing. I'm 24 days fasted and I feel great. All right? It's that simple. So look at Cole Robinson. He will motivate you like nothing else, and all you need to do is to make the snake juice up. It costs you pennies. Free. All right. On extended fasting, Dr. Jason Fung has a lot of good information. Very good information from Dr. Jason Fung. And if you look it up, I can't remember her name, but she's the current director of the Fasting Institute in Germany. Now you can look that up yourself if you're getting this interested in it. There's an institution that's been around for over 100 years where they medically fast people and cure people of all sorts of conditions through fasting. And as a side note, Russia Medical fasting is government funded. It's official. If you're sick, you can go and choose fasting as your treatment option and be medically supervised while you do it. Now, medical supervision is probably needed for people who are on medications, especially people on mental health medications. So they find it, but so many people get on these things, these SRIs, and they can't get off them. Every time they try and get off them, they want to kill themselves. So fasting is the way that you get off them. But I do believe that you do want to be doing that with the assistance of an enlightened doctor. So good luck finding one of them, because I can't at the moment in Christchurch. They're all booked up. I inquired. Anybody, any doctor who is open-minded and knowledgeable on alternative or complementary treatments, you just can't get them. So come on, doctors. We want you. We want you to get into this. We want you to get out of this matrix of this health system and just be a bit more broad-minded. So I've done supplements and antioxidants, hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want this to be too long. I don't know how long I've been rabbiting on for now, but HBO and tumours. Okay, so it hasn't changed a lot. The big one here, I'm going to show you in a minute, but you won't feel like much has changed. You can see the small one here now. It has changed a bit, and what it's lost. Now, this is not entirely on its own. I've used some Rick Simpson CBD oil, and I'm not going to get into that here at the moment. But if you want to know what that is, you just YouTube that, you'll find it. But I've used some of that on there. Now, I haven't been able to continue using it whilst I've been in the chamber because that oil's very expensive and it needs to stay on for 2 or 3 days, as long as you can. And I think it has definitely helped with this smaller one here to reduce the angiogenesis. So angiogenesis is the big ridge around these tumors, and that big ridge is the tumor's very own special vein, its very own specialized blood supply. Now, whether you've got your cancer on your face where you can see it like mine, or you've got it inside your body, tumors, when they all develop their very own blood supply. Angiogenesis, it's called. And chemo drugs, I'm not going to get too technical here because I don't know 100%, but my understanding is that a lot of the chemo drugs, aspects of them are designed to be anti-angiogenesis, right? So they know that they've got to open up these veins, this special blood supply. And what's special about it is it's restricted. It's a very restricted blood supply. It's very oxygen depleted, this blood supply. It doesn't allow many nutrients through it. It lets the glucose, it's very, very specialized in what it does, which makes it so hard to get to the cancer. So when they can open up the blood vessels to these things, they can get the target the poisons that they want to attack them with much more effectively. Right, so that got me thinking. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to Google something up. What are natural, what are foods that are anti-angiogenesis? Now, there are about 5 of them. I just looked at the first 2 because they're so easy to get at. There was garlic and lycopene from tomatoes. Now, so a lot of people know for an anti-cancer diet that both those things are a good take. Garlic regularly apparently is a good thing. So I thought to myself, well, what will I do here? So I just did this last night. I went out to the supermarket and I bought a tube of crushed garlic. And when I put my patch on, now I've just got a little temp one on here so I can show you what's going on. But what I normally do is patch it up quite well and seal it. And what I did is I put a bit of cream over the top of the vein, otherwise the plaster rips when it comes off and bleeds, so I don't want that. So I put a little bit of kawa cream. It's a local herb that we have here that's a good herb for a lot of things. I put a little bit of that on there, and then I put this garlic paste around it. Well, this morning, when I remove my plaster, as I do, because when I go into the chamber, I have everything open so that the oxygen can get to it. And when I removed it this morning, what's been happening previously, I'd have this pool of dark, lymph-loaded blood that drips into the sink. It's horrible. It's horrible, guys. I mean, if you want to see a real horror show, I could have showed you, got it on camera. But what happened today is that there was no bleeding. There was no blood. But there was much more mucousy lymph type stuff than normal. And I'll show you this in a moment, and I can't really do a before and after, and even if I did, you probably wouldn't really notice it on camera, but you'll see this here. It's not going to look much different to you. You're going to think, oh, what the hell's happened here? But just got to be careful here. I don't want to get a bleed going on. Now, that was much more sharper and defined even just yesterday. So it's sort of gotten a bit fatter and it's evened itself out a bit. And also in the center here, it's actually lifting. It's lifting out through the edges. So there is a transformation going on, and some of the transformations I've seen of this tumor, like mine, have been similar, where the center, rather than digging in and going deeper into the skin and the muscle layers, it starts to lift out. So, hey, I feel like there's a transformation happening. People that look at me feel as though my skin in general is clearer than it has been in the past. You know, have a look at the arms. These are a bit clearer. They come and go. Like, honestly, this arm was looking much, much better about 2 days ago. So I have just had a hot shower in chlorine. We'll see. But this little blood blisters sort of thing is just showing up, and I think that's a consequence of doing the hyperbaric oxygen therapy, toxins and things coming out. So look, I was hoping to do complement this while I was here for this treatment with infrared sauna. It didn't quite work out for me, so I think that would have been really helpful as well. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to update you. I'm going away for work. And I hopefully will give you a video update while I'm away and see how my fasting goes while I'm working. I may even have time to do one when I'm at home at the farm for a couple of nights coming up. We'll wait and see. But I want to keep it happening. I want to keep it exciting. It's been a long update because I haven't been on here for over 2 weeks. But honestly, I've just been working on myself. I've got work to do as well. But really just been working on my own kind of spirituality, really, and just working in that side of me, that psyche, that part of me that you know, working out why I'm choosing to be ill and how I can work out to choose to be healthy. So Joe Dispenza, hey, I've been at him now. I think I've just got on to week 3 of his meditations. And hey, some days it feels amazing to do them. Other days I'm like, oh, you know, what's going on here? But I'm just going to keep doing them because everybody that I know that's done them and had success with them, they all say to me, hey, consistency is the key. So I'm just going to keep on doing them, and I'll see what happens, eh? All right, thanks for stopping, folks. Love you, love me, like me, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends, turner at large. We're here for a good time. Cheers, bye for now.